Alright, so former teammates over here. We have in the bottom right side a blue Zerg representing Alpha X. It is RAGNAROK. In the top left side there is a red Protoss player representing the groomed and the greatly groomed guard hounds of the galaxy. He is. Good Game Gaming's. Nice. The greatly groomed guardians of the galaxy. The guardian grifters of the galaxy. The guard. Would that be a thing? Has that ever been a thing? A guardian grifter? What would you be guarding at that point if you're just traveling, you know? It'd have to be something you can carry, I suppose. Or someone you're grifting with. So yeah, I suppose it is possible. Another mystery set into the ground by yours truly. Ah, wonderful. Alright, regular PvZ things are going on here in this match so far. We've got the probe, of course, being a nuisance, causing this natural base to be uncorrupted so far by all sorts of lovely, creepy and slimy things. Whereas, well, RAGNAROK having that overlord at the front gate, kind of keeping an eye on things. Sees the chrono on the gateway, may want to start moving that overlord pretty soon towards the pillar over here. There we go, just in case it is a stalker. Actually sticking around there, wants to really make sure to see what is coming out of that gateway, and he sees it is in fact an adept. Knows that is coming his way right now. So that's good. That is really good. He's aware that the threat is here. Now, will he be able to deal with this threat? That's the next question, of course. It's only one of them. Zerglings. Come on, you Zerglings. Get out of there. It's one drone. No, actually, there we go. Okay, it is one drone. I don't think it could have been very much more. Seeing how he only had the 3 shots in total. Gonna try again at the natural base. A bit stuck. Trying to kite away from the queen. Even attacking the queen twice, as well as the Zergling. Not getting a drone there. So it is just the one drone for the one adept. A little bit of a scout, but the scout only showing, you're doing greedy things. Alright, well then. I better do economic damage. Which is not what happens. Oops, Zergling's trying to dig their way through the Tempest skin, or the the Adept skin. Can't quite make it work. Didn't grease up enough the Zerglings this time around. Had to use a bit more. Oh. Just keeping an eye on things. Third bases, are they being created? How many adepts are being warped in here? What is the overall numbers of everything? Nice, going for the Void Ray, and I imagine with the Twilight Council right afterwards will be the Adept Glaive. There it is. Okay, so this expansion here, or this probe moving out, he will still put it down, I believe. He does have the money for it. Perhaps, I don't know, but I'm waiting to see if it's going to be the Nexus or more gateways. It will be the Nexus, yeah. That makes sense. So a grand total, what happened there, excuse me? How was that? Ooh. It's a very confused probe. Ooh, seeing this, yeah, he saw the 4 adepts, or at least 3 adepts walking in. As long as he identified them as adepts, Perhaps he identified them as something else. No, he identified them. Yeah, he is making the Zerglings right now, and as well as the Roach Warren in production afterwards. There comes the wave of adepts, so each and every one of them, with their shades towards the other side, and the Queens. Couple of Zerglings, not looking to be just quite enough just yet. And we'll leave the area with the drones for the time being. They have to return to sender in a little bit here, depending on the situation. Now the adepts are on top of the natural base. More Zerglings are coming in as the reinforcements is pretty close by. But those adepts seemingly having too much of a good spot. And will trade pretty reasonably well against those Zerglings. Now starting to get damage done in the main base. And there is a GG called. Nice, taking game number 1. 1 point behind. A man on his last legs for this tournament right now. Can he achieve a victory here? And then another one to keep those hopes alive. It is the Blue Zerg. It is RAGNAROK from Alpha X. Top right side, the red Protoss player fighting for the GGG. It is nice. Good game gaming. Nice. I'm glad we got here in StarCraft 2. Good game gaming. Nice. No probe block this time around. Natural base where it should be. Get ourselves a Nexus before the Cyber Core. Should be perfectly alright. Bit of a blind build here from Nice, but to be fair, he does have that point on the board. He's got himself a spare life to play with. So it might not be too much of a stretch to kind of try something like this here. It's not too out of the box. Just kind of hoping the Zerg doesn't one base or, well, even maybe very early on 2 base you with Zerglings. Or a proxy hatch, I suppose, would be the more common approach. To try and be ultra aggressive here as the Zerg. I mean, RAGNAROK seeing this right now, you know, the timing of the Nexus is probably just like, yeah, it's fine, that's fine. I'll just drone up. Send a couple of Zerglings around and about, trying to see if something's being built closer at his home than they should be. So not taking any chances with that. That is nice to see. As Nice has that Stargate, of course, in his main base. Just kind of chilling, hanging out there. As we await what will be coming out of there. Probably a Void Ray, I imagine. Zamzalabam. It will be a Void Ray. No, it will be an Oracle. He changed his mind. He flip-flopped on us. Let's see if we get another flip-floppity-flip. Another cancel into the Phoenix. Who knows? Probably won't happen anymore at this point in time. That's fine. But with the Oracle play, I doubt we're going to see another Twilight Council after this, right? Because you get the Void Ray to clear out the scouting with the Overlords and such. You get a couple of Adepts to clear out the scouting Zerglings. And that's how you... Well, that's how he managed to get quite a bit of surprise on his side in that game number 1. RAGNAROK just too late to the information as to what was going to happen to him. Nice, keeping this Overlord here alive as well. Just nice after all. And that allows this Oracle to arrive here before there is a Spore Crawler. But there are 2 Queens, so only 2 kills will be achieved there by the Oracle. Singular Adapt at the 3rd base. Apparently eaten alive by a couple of Zerglings. More Zerglings now realizing, oh, wait a moment. There's things to nibble on the other side of the map. Maybe we should cooperate. It's not quite happening. There in the production. New tech will be available for our Zerg. Wondering if he's going to attempt the Spire play here. Keeping, and let's see, no, it will be the Roaches once again. I was looking for the Gas Geysers on the natural on the 3rd base, but there are none. So this could start to be quite a Roach committal coming up in a not too far distant future. 7 Queens in total as well. Creep spread is not that far out, so we'll have to wait and see if those Queens are coming across in the map as well. I want to get himself some Oracle, or sorry, Overlord speed. As Void Ray production is in full effect. Void Ray's a very nice answer towards the Roaches, as actually now we do have a transition into the Spire. So the Roach Warren perhaps still just something to kind of keep himself safe. Maybe still anticipating another Adept Glaive attack here, but he didn't make that many Zerglings. He was trying to keep on top of his scouting though, and that's about it. Alright, fair enough. A bit of a misread from my part, but you know what, I'm not too upset about it. I would like to see these players go into a little bit more of a late game. The late game ZVP in particular was something that I admired about RAGNAROK. Something that he seemed quite willing to put a lot of time and effort into each and every matchup. And just willing to get himself into that late game. Try out his control of the absolute death ball of Zerg. He was getting better and better at it as time was progressing. Utilizing his Infestors very well, getting a lot of those Vipers involved with the Parasitic Bombs and the Corruptors. You know, utilizing the spells in a good way. Getting the most out of his units in a lot of battles that I've seen from him, so... Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of, if that's mindset dependent on the day for him, or if it's depending on... like what type of tournaments he's in at the moment. Maybe he just has these phases of playstyles, right? I guess players do have that as well. I have that for sure. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try out the very quick Infestor playstyle kind of thing. Or I'm going to try out the big bowl of Muta Ling Bane playstyle. And then you're just stuck on that for a while, right? You feel more and more comfortable on it. Maybe it's just one of those things. Mutalisk did get spotted. How many on the field right now? It is going to be 15 in total. Waiting for those units to arrive. The Queen's going in with the Overlord, so it will still be a Queen push on the 8-minute mark. But with Mutalisk as well. And the Mutalisk are attempting their way into the main base right now. There's not much static defense right there to help out. Carriers and Void Rays not with enough speed to keep up with these Mutalisks, so they will just be flying around the base, getting 12 worker kills in total already. As Nice tries to get rid of this encroachment of creep and as well as Queens. Looks like the Mutalisk not convinced that they want to partake in that battle just quite yet. Wants to do more economic damage to his opponents. A little bit awkward having those Queens over there and then just kind of... well, letting them die and then letting them live to escape in the Overlords. Also a little bit of an awkward engagement right there. Mutalisk turn around, try to get themselves a couple of those Void Rays, but a lot of the Mutalisk were low and they got punished a little bit. 17 Corruptors now coming out though, so I suppose every single Void Ray he does manage to take out with the Mutalisk would be a great deal for him. Seeing how his army is going to be anti-carrier oriented. Those Void Rays do quite well against Corruptors. Let's get a scout on that base here. I mean, Zerglings on their own aren't gonna break that that amount of cannons and shield batteries. That is just an immense amount. You will need Banelings to really bust through there effectively. Or, you know, you go to the place where it's not quite done yet. Is this going to be enough Corruptors? They are letting the Void Ray just shoot pretty freely here for a long period of time with the prismatic alignment available. Now, was that too much damage overall? I don't think so. He's still somewhat trading against these carriers. He's gonna be able to take down another one. There's 3 still remaining though, and the Corruptor numbers have whittled down. But he achieved what he set out to do here. He cancelled this base. And while he was attacking here, normally you would have a Protoss take over this base, right? He'd just be like, okay, I might have to cancel this in the future. Let me make sure I have this 4th base still as quickly as I can. Let me just start it on the other side. But there is quite a bit of creep that's spread around here. And I'm not even sure if Nice was aware of this. As only now he's discovering all this creep here set up. He didn't make a Nexus though, he didn't try to make a Nexus. He's trying to deal with this creep setup though. Corruptors, how many of them are alive? 21 of them versus the 5 carriers as well as the 2 Void Rays. Still a little bit tricky with the shield batteries and such around, but yeah, just not enough. Nowhere near enough anymore for Nice to take that one, so GG is cold. Okay, resettled the score, now back to square one. With 1 game remaining. The blue Zerg here going quite quickly outwards with a drone. Wants to get... I don't know what he wants to get. He wants to... okay, well, he wants to go get a proxy hatchery, it would appear. Anyway, from Alpha X, the blue Zerg, it is RAGNAROK. As in the bottom left side, we have a red Protoss player representing the good game gamers. It is Nice. As Nice will be coming up here on the top side with a proxy of his own. So the double proxy play will be occurring here. There goes the drone, setting up shop right on top of that natural base as he sends out another drone. Where is this drone going? This drone is scouting for proxies as the probe tries to come in from an unparticular angle here. Tries to avoid that being scouted out, but the drone was already on its way. There is a forge as well as 2 gateways been committed to this area. So now more drones are being pulled away from the drone line, hoping to kill that pylon off before anything horrendous happens. He has that hatchery on the other side of the map as well. Nice trying to procure himself a Nexus after the attempted attack. Cancelling the forge, cancelling the gateways. I doubt he realized that there was a hatchery on his side of the field. The spawning pool about to finish up here. This feels like it could become rather ugly rather quickly for our red Protoss. Depending on how much RAGNAROK wants to do here. He has saved up his larvae, so I'm assuming this is all going to be Zerglings. Only makes a set of 2. Cancels the hatchery and gets out of there. And we're going into a macro game. Okay. Alright then. We still don't have a gateway. It's been 2 minutes 30. The gateway is not done yet. Yep. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Wants to grab the gas here. Potentially. Doesn't... it's not allowed from the probes. Now at this stage in the game, I think Bly would just make himself another hatchery somewhere over here. Just to force the Protoss to, you know, get committal defenses against that as well. I think that's the way you would do this. That's how you would Bly it up. push your opponent to the utmost limits. So yeah, things calming down. Third base for Raggy coming up. The Zergling speed coming in as well, as RAGNAROK slowly starts claiming the lead in the work account. It's going to still be quite a while before Nice has anything across the map here to do against that. In the entire map now being scattered out by Zerglings. No, not a single thing, not a single crevice or hook or croony. Nothing wants to be left unscattered here for these Zerglings. And that makes an awful lot of sense to me, as he is in just such a wonderful spot right now. As long as he doesn't get caught off guard, it will be an incredibly tedious task for Nice to dig himself out of this hole here. Because not only was his gateway delayed, he made a forge as well as a cannon. I had to make a shield battery here, all sorts of defensive structures. Never got utilized at all. He had to cancel 2 gateways as well as the forge on the other side of the map. Like, he is as delayed as it gets, right? RAGNAROK, on the other hand, is also a little bit delayed because he went for the proxy hatchery across the field. I say proxy, it's more sort of like a stop your opponent from getting the nexus that they would like to hatchery. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, RAGNAROK is just not letting things happen on chance in a way, right? He is sending those drones out to see whether or not there are any of these proxies about. He is continuously sending his Zerglings endlessly across the map everywhere. And sure, they're not having a success now because nothing's being proxied, but that's one of those ways where you could still lose this. And you gotta take those special measures to keep yourself safe. Now Zerglings over here finding themselves a lovely Nexus treat. Even gonna commit with the force field users here to the offensive. I did not anticipate him trying this, but here we are. Getting on top of those sentries. He desperately wants to kill those sentries. Making even more Zerglings, roaches as well. Hoping to once more get another cancel on that third base, I imagine. Even cancelling the lair. He is going to commit. He's like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I better do it right. And I think I like that choice. He knows he's in a dominating position regarding army supply here. His opponent's struggling to get that third base up. If he gets another cancel on that, maybe even push a little bit further. You know, if Nice commits to the third base, you most likely will just kill him. So I imagine we're going to see Nice moving back towards his natural base here. And perhaps there he will have a shot at holding this. But at his third base, this is going to be incredibly hard. He just doesn't quite know yet how many units were created for this. He thinks this is just a small committal of links to perhaps, hopefully, very cheaply get another cancel on this Nexus, but it is not. There is so much more. And there we go. GG is called. RAGNAROK takes game number 3 and sets himself up for the deciding match against Gumiho.